Aging. It's a natural part of life, yet so often we're told to resist it, to hide it, heck, even run from it. I've got bad news for you if you're worried about aging. It's coming your way. 20 years is going to go faster than you think. 10 years will go faster than you think. Heck, I lost my hair in the last 3 years, and there's nothing I can do about it because I can't afford hair transplants. Today, we're going to discuss a topic that bugged me for many years, and that is the subtle and lost art of aging gracefully. The title's a work in progress. Maybe that's what I'll do. Mister. I got this 9 years ago. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Trevor Hunt, and I'm a country singer-songwriter, but I also discuss topics that I care about. I make music, and I try to be as authentic as possible on this channel. You guys know me from the video with my mom, or from all of my minimalist phone videos. I make content that I really think helps people live their lives more fully. And this is a topic that's been bugging me recently, which is the topic of aging and our culture's, our world's obsession with avoiding it or trying not to age, especially for men now. Whether you're in your 20s thinking that this is not a big deal, or in your 60s kind of living through the fact that you're getting older, this is a topic that affects every single person eventually, and this is a topic that I care about. So first, let's talk about my main concerns. My main concern is in American culture or first world country culture, it seems like the wisdom that comes with age is something that is not valued anymore. It's not valued to be seen as someone who is older and wiser. It's not valued to be older and wiser. It's valued to be younger and prettier, or younger and more handsome. The issue there is that we're throwing away so many lifelong well-earned lessons as young people because we refuse to listen to those who are older than us. Now, maybe you've been hurt by a grandma and grandpa. Maybe you don't have a mom and dad. Maybe your relationship with people older than you has been negative. Your teachers were crappy with you. Your principal looked down on you. Your parents were mean. But that doesn't mean that every old person is unwise. I would say that there are some old people who have grown and not matured, but I would say also that there are many old people who have grown and matured. My fear is that if we think that getting old is the problem, we try to stay young forever, that we don't gain wisdom from age, from those aches and pains, from losing your hair. There's wisdom to be found in every experience, and if you don't dig into those things, you're going to miss out on that. And sometimes when you preserve your outside body too much, you're going to lose out on that gained wisdom that you could have had you accepted the fact that you were aging. I feel like I'm rambling there, but what I'm saying is aging is not bad. And our culture kind of pushes it off as this thing you want to avoid at all costs. I mean, bottom line is this: when you age, you're supposed to look older. I'm not supposed to look like a 21-year-old right now. I'm a 31-year-old man with a 3-year-old and a wife. I've been married for almost 10 years. I'm supposed to look like that. I am not supposed to look like a young buck anymore, and I don't want to. I don't care if I don't have the newest clothes or the best fashions. I don't care if I'm losing my hairline. I don't care because I don't want to look like I did when I was 17. I want to look like an adult man. I want to look like a grown man. There's $1 billion industry around staying young. I mean, I cannot turn on my TV anymore without getting a For Hims commercial, without seeing some kind of weight loss injection, creams for my face, hair, and I don't Google this stuff. When I started losing my hair, I literally bought a shaver and I just shaved my head bald. I just didn't care. I was like, whatever. I'm not going to be the guy who fights it. But I still get bombarded with commercials on how to stay young. And if I'm being honest, in my early 20s, I was terrified of aging. I was 23 when I started, 24 when I started the YouTube journey, and I thought at that point, I honestly remember thinking, I'm too old, I'm irrelevant. When I'm 30, no one's going to want to watch my videos. When I'm 30, no one's going to want to listen to my music. You know what I mean? I thought that 30 was like dead. But I have a newsflash for anyone who thinks that way. If you're young, especially if you're like 17, when you're 30, if you take care of your body, you feel the exact same way that you did when you were 17. The only difference is you hopefully conquered some mental health issues that you were battling in your youth. And so 30 really feels like leveling up for me versus feels like downgrading from my youth. I'm in better physical shape because I work out consistently. I have gotten counseling, years of counseling, so I'm in better mental health shape. I have my master's degree. I have a music career that's flourishing, and all of that is stuff that I've built over the last 7 years. You can't have those experiences if time doesn't pass. And so would I rather be 23 right now? No, never. Never again would I go back. I don't want to be young. To sum up my beginning points, society puts an insane amount of pressure on men to stay young forever. It's exhausting and it's impossible. Let me make a small disclaimer before we continue the video. Aging doesn't mean you just let yourself go and not grow at all. In my opinion, aging should be leveling up in every single aspect of your life. You should try to keep your physique up. You should try to eat healthier each day. You should try to learn something new each day. I'm constantly reading books. I'm constantly learning more things on my guitar. I'm constantly writing new songs. I'm constantly working out. I'm eating healthy. And the reason I do that is because I refuse to let my peak be 18 to 21 years old. That will not be my peak in life. That will not be my physical peak. That will also not be my mental peak. When my body is decaying and I cannot compete the way that I compete now physically, I will be mentally sharper than ever, and I will pour my life into my guitar and my music more than ever because I refuse to let young 18s to 20s be my peak. So in no way is this video a critique of someone who's taking care of themselves. This video is a critique of unrealistic expectations to appear young, right? And I have no issue with someone who can afford hair transplants. I have no issue with someone who wants to dye their hair. I have no issue with someone who has to have plastic surgery for non-vanity reasons. But I think when it's all vanity and you're trying to appear young and you act younger, that there's a poisonous mindset there that stunts your growth mentally as a person. And I think it's poisonous for other people around you. To pretend like you just look that young when you've done so much to look that young is dishonest and, in my opinion, kind of scummy. And that brings me to my next point, Peter Pan syndrome. And that's adults that never grow up. I've worked with people like this whom were in their 50s and 60s and still talked and acted like they were children, teenagers. When you age, the goal is to gain wisdom and become a more self-controlled, a more disciplined version of yourself. You don't want to be the same person over 30 years. I once heard someone say that if you work at a job for 30 years, but you do the same thing every year and you never learn anything new, you don't have 30 years of experience in that job. You have 1 year repeated 30 times. I don't want that for my life, and I know you don't either. So how do we continually push ourselves to grow? While it's great to keep a sense of humor and adventure in your life, refusing to grow up can lead to real problems, like Peter Pan syndrome. Maturity is about more than age. It's about wisdom, responsibility, and strength. Men who cling to their youth at all costs miss out on the deeper joys of life, mentoring others, building a lasting legacy, and stepping into roles of leadership with higher responsibility. Being a grown man is not boring. It's a powerful thing. A real man is a powerful person. Or woman, but this is mainly targeted towards men. So if you're young, what do you do? Well, first of all, I would highly advise you to try your best not to get caught up in the lies that the culture sells you. Try your best to allow yourself to age gracefully. I would highly recommend you start working out and taking care of your body, but don't do so at the expense of your mental health, and or don't do so just so that you can look good, but do so that mentally you can grow and develop each day, each year. Another thing, if you're young, that I'm concerned about is the lack of respect for elders. If you're a young person and there's an older person in your life, I would highly advise you to show them respect and kindness, even if they don't deserve it. Why? When you're older, you're going to hope that someone will do the same for you. In order to get respect, you must give respect. And a good habit to get into is to show people respect even when they don't show you respect. I know it sounds crazy, but I've seen this in my own life. I work with a lot of people. I'm a principal for an elementary school, and I'll get angry phone calls or I'll get people who are upset, and sometimes I have people who disrespect me. I always respond back with respect and kindness. And most of the time when I do that, I'm met with respect and kindness from those people. But I have to be the one to initiate that. Someone who has true inner strength, no matter what your age is, will be respectful to others around them in every situation. Someone who is weak and insecure will tear people down. Don't be that person. See, if you develop the habit of being rude to people now, even your elders, then you will never lose that habit, and no one will respect you when you are an elder. So keep that in mind at this young age of whatever you are, that if you are rude to people now, people will be rude to you later. I think also if we bring back the respect, and I think of like Asian culture when I picture this, I picture like the guru mindset of like the older gentleman who knows what he's doing, or like the old man smoking a pipe, or some old cowboy giving wisdom to a young buck. Like those types of men, I want to see more of them in this world. That would be something I think we should strive for. And so if you're young, strive to become that kind of man. And when I think about those types of people, or people that age gracefully, I think of two people in general that I have deep admiration and respect for. And I want to stop really quick and take a moment to talk about a personal example of aging gracefully. And that would be my father-in-law. My father-in-law is 70 years old, I think. He's about to turn 70. And he is the kindest, humblest person I know. When I met my father-in-law, there were times that I doubted his character because he was so kind. I wondered how someone could be that kind. He was so gentle, I didn't think that was possible. And I was raised in a very rough and rowdy home where masculinity was shrouded by rude and brash talk and by over physicality. That's not my father-in-law. See, he's gentle, he's kind, and I've never heard him say something truly mean to someone. He calls people out whenever there's something that he disagrees with, but he's very calm and thinks about his words. My father-in-law is the type of person that when he speaks, everyone listens, because when he speaks, you know he's thought through what he said. I'm not that type of person. I am the type of person that I speak without thinking, and so oftentimes I say dumb things. His example is one that I truly set out to follow. My father-in-law has shown that grace and kindness to everyone I know, and has mentored young men as well. The other example of aging gracefully would be my brother-in-law, my father-in-law's son. Same pattern. He's kind, he's gentle, he's quiet, he's calm, and when he says something, you know that he's truly thought that something through. He doesn't speak out of turn, he doesn't say rude things. These examples of manhood that are not overly crazy, masculine just to be masculine for the sake of masculinity. I'm not talking about the bearded alpha males that are pumping weights and taking roids. I'm not talking about that kind of masculinity. I'm talking about gentle humility that is so deeply ingrained in a man that there is a confidence there that's almost unshakable. That would be my father-in-law, and I've seen that passed on to my brother-in-law through the mentorship of father-son. That's the kind of dad I aspire to be for my own son. I aspire to teach my son to be gentle and kind. There's my son. I'm going to sum the video up really quick because my child is waking up. Getting old is not a bad thing. Letting yourself go is a bad thing. Drinking all the time, bad diet, poor exercise health, never making yourself grow mentally or physically is a problem. I'm not advocating that. I'm advocating accepting yourself for who you are and trying to be your best every single day. I can't point out a single person that I think is at blame here. I think it's more of a cultural blame. And maybe this video won't be popular. Maybe I've rubbed you the wrong way. If so, it's certainly not my intent. It always baffles me how when I put a video online, how many people get deeply wounded or offended by simple things that I say just trying to help people grow. So if you're feeling hurt or offended, by all means, let me know in the comments, but maybe try your best to do so constructively. Whenever people attack a content creator or a YouTuber, typically if it's anything insulting, I just ignore or delete it or block it. I have no patience for hate like that in my life, and you shouldn't either. There's another wisdom tidbit for you. Also, if this message resonated positively with you, consider liking the video and commenting and subscribing for more content like this. I put a lot of editing into this video. I really put my heart and soul into it. I scripted the video for the first time in the world, although I struggle to script and follow a script. But I really put my effort in. I'm trying to become a better content creator. I do that. I'm working on my first album. I'm trying to grow, guys. So thank you so much for joining me. God bless you, as always, and take it easy.